Part 3. Limiting Belief Transformation. Welcome to Part 3 of our transformative journey, Limiting Belief Transformation. In this segment, we dive into the profound art of identifying and transforming limiting beliefs. By the end of this lesson, you'll possess powerful techniques to reshape your belief system and unlock your true potential. Understanding limiting beliefs. Limiting beliefs are like invisible chains that hold us back from realizing our full potential. They are the thoughts and convictions that tell us we can't achieve our goals, that we're not good enough, or that we don't deserve success. But here's the good news. These beliefs are not fixed. They can be identified, challenged, and transformed. So think about this question here. Let's just say that you didn't have any limiting beliefs to what you can do in life, to the success you want to obtain, to how you feel about if you deserve it or not, if you're good enough. If these things did not exist in your perception, in your thoughts, in your subconscious programming, how much more do you think you would do? So much more, right? Because we won't have those invisible chains holding us back, keeping us behind the barriers of our own limiting aspects or our own mental limitation. We would just think of it and do it. We would just feel it and think, oh, that's a good way to experience this moment right now. Let me just get up and sing for karaoke, or let me just pursue this goal or this success that I quickly envision myself because I got inspired by someone or something in my world, and it motivated me to, what would be the odds or what would be the possibilities of that? How about I pursue it and see what happens, right? It's basically allowing yourself to just be in the moment that you feel to express yourself, that you feel to do something, that you feel to take the leap of faith. Because you have faith that no matter what happens, it might or may not be an experience worth having. But guess what? You will be coming from the perception of knowing it through the experience and not the assumption of something that you did not get to do. So it is to be also cautious and having discernment and intuitive nudges of what feels right or what feels wrong to us based on how we feel and based on our values and morals, right? So also having great balance with that. The things that you're not harming or hurting anyone, that you're just allowing yourself to experience a moment in your life experience so that you can embody what that is to do so. It won't really hurt. If you fail, it'll be like, okay, well, it was worth having that experience because now I know something more than I knew yesterday, right? And sometimes you might even surprise yourself and say, oh my God, I'm so glad I took the risk or I took the chance to have that experience because my God, was it worth having, right? But had you been fearful of having it or doing it or pursuing it, then you'll just stay in your mind about it. I wonder what that would be. Why wonder when you can just make it happen? Bringing me into the power of belief transformation. The process of transforming limiting belief is a journey of self-discovery and empowerment. It empowers you to do the following. You get to break free from constraints as you shed the chain or the chains of self-doubt and fears that hold you back. Then you get to unlock potential, right? As you unleash your true potential by believing in your abilities. You get to pursue goals fearlessly as you approach your aspirations with confidence and determination while living authentically as you align your beliefs with your authentic self, paving the way for an authentic and fulfilling life. So when we learn to be fearless and allow ourselves to remove these limiting beliefs and what we are capable of, and not allowing these limiting beliefs to keep us stagnant in our life experience, we'll be surprised what we will discover about ourselves in the doing of such practice, right? Bringing us to the techniques for transforming limiting beliefs, with the first one being identifying limiting beliefs. Begin by identifying your limiting beliefs. This can be done through self-reflection, journaling, or seeking professional guidance. So sometimes our beliefs are coming from, let's say, a traumatic experience we might have had when we were even children or even as adults, right? Some experience can imprint or create this internal self-belief in ourselves, because maybe we had a humiliating or embarrassing experience and made us feel disappointed and disgusted with ourselves. So sometimes it takes more than just breaking the chain. Sometimes if we have to seek professional guidance and help, it is important that we are aware if that is what is necessary, and being okay with that necessity of doing so, right? Because we are investing in ourselves. We are doing what is necessary for us to grow and heal and evolve and step into our full version and best version of ourselves, while mastering our capabilities and our emotional states and self primarily, right? So identifying it, understanding where it might come from as you self-reflect, and if you have to journal it and process it, all of this is going to assist you at identifying these beliefs that have been holding you back maybe most of your life for some, right? The next one would be challenge beliefs. When you recognize a limiting belief, challenge it. Ask yourself for evidence that contradict this belief. So what does that look like? So let's say that you have a belief that you can't, I can't go here because I need to be responsible. And let's say you want to go on vacation with your friends, right? But you're a mother and you grew up with the example and the belief system that when you're a mother, everything stops, right? All that you thought you're gonna live in your life stops once you have kids. You are now limited and restricted because now your kids are a priority in your life, and it wouldn't look right to do things like that because people are going to say that you're not a good mother, right? Let's say that, for example. And then you ask yourself, well, is that real? Is that really the truth here? Is that really what it means if I go on vacation? Or if I go on vacation, it just shows that not only do I love my child and I am there for him or her always, I'm primarily the caregiver. He has everything or she has everything they need, right? They are well taken care of, they're nurtured, they're loved, they are affirmed daily that their mother loves them and cares for them. And everything you do is, yes, for them, but also you are allowing yourself to have your own experiences so that you yourself can fill your cup, so that you yourself can be happy, so that when you do go and become or be a mother, you're coming from a place of contentment, of self-satisfaction, because you're not resenting your child for what you perceive to be a burden now in your life, because now you're restricted as to what you can and can't do, because the belief that you might have been running before or given from another is that you can't do those things because what are they going to say, or you can't do those things because what if something happens. All of these elements, you have to dissect and challenge them. And ask yourself, is that a fact or is that an assumption? So you have to find for the contradicting facts that prove it to be wrong, right? So here you would say, in the case of a mother that wants to go and travel maybe once a year with their friends so that they can find that free time, that break within the motherhood, so that they can be happy in their life experience and not resentful of their children. They're going to do what they feel is right for them. And by doing so, they know that I am consistent at being there for my children. I am consistent at providing for my children. I am consistent at nurturing my children. I am aware that they are a priority in all of my decisions in my life as to where I live, how do I live, who comes into my life. So all of those examples, and I teach my children from a place of love and not of dictation, of force, of fear, of control, right? So I know that all of those factors in the practice of my motherhood validate that not only am I a good mother, I am an extraordinary mother, because I've seen and experienced other situations, maybe my own experience, that all of that lacked. So I already can validate that belief system that once limited me by the counteraction of the facts that are current, right? So that allows me to challenge that belief with the facts that are truly current and not the assumption of the beliefs that may be currently running. Which brings us into the next one, reframe beliefs. Develop a practice of reframing your beliefs. Replace limiting beliefs with empowering affirmations or statements that support your goals. So in the example that I just provided, it would be the facts that I already collected as I was challenging the belief, but also affirming it with the inner belief and self-belief in self, in my ability to, let's say, be a great mother because of the result that has applied in my experience. Because let's say that I'm reframing that belief by getting more of the facts. My children are straight A students. I never have issues with them in school. They're honor roll. They always brought me good grades. So there's something obviously happening that is good here, right? So that belief system starts to dismantle. It starts to fade away because there's nothing that you experience in your experience of life or motherhood that would even apply maybe you being a bad mother ever, because that's not what you live by, right? Being a mother is not your belief system that you're valuing, because your values, your standards, and the boundaries that you maintain are always in pursuit of being a great mother to your child, no matter what it looks like to anyone externally. And also realizing that by reframing that belief system, I start caring less and less and less about what anyone outside of me or my experience says about me, because I am reaffirmed and reassured in my capacity to indeed be a good mother. There's no doubt, there's no concern, there's no worry, there's no contradicting beliefs in me after I have reframed this belief. So once that's done, that's how we move forward in our limiting beliefs. So for the next one, we have a visualization. Sometimes when we are transforming our limiting beliefs, we use techniques like visualization. So use visualization to see yourself as the person who has already overcome these limiting beliefs. Visualize your success and the actions that led to it. So in the example of the motherhood, which is actually something I dealt with, as I am a mother of one, and I remember I had the potential and the ability to not only travel and live my life, but also provide, and still to this day, provide everything that my child needs. So I was always a proud mother to some degree. So what I started doing is after overcoming the challenging belief that came from, I guess, passed down belief systems, right? Of certain influential people in my life caring about what people thought. I never actually cared, but I also always wanted to make sure that I was making the right choice and decisions when it came to my child, right? So because I had my own personal experience with my mother, I wanted to be the best mother possible. So it was very important to me of what that would look like and what that would be, and making sure that it was not affecting them negatively, right? So when it came to the visualization, what happened was, not only did I visualize myself being able to travel and live freely and enjoy life while knowing that my child was being taken care of by his father when I was away, or even my family. I trusted the individuals that he was staying with if I traveled for a weekend or a week for any special occasion and so on. But also I visualized myself doing that with my child, right? Where not only was I going away on my own, but I was exploring and living life to the fullest with my child, with amplify, which actually assisted me with not only amplifying and contradicting that belief, but also enhancing how much of a good mother I wanted to be by giving my child an experience worth having that would last a lifetime. That would mean more than any form of monetary gain or toy or clothes that I would give him, but an experience that they would have forever. So I visualized my life being a certain way, but also my life with my child being a certain way, which I also always included them into my experience. So this brings us to the next one, affirmations. Create affirmations that counteract your limiting beliefs and reinforce your newfound empowering belief. So this is exactly what happened. So the result of that allowed me to not only have a change in perspective, change in beliefs, but also introduce a new possibility, not only to myself, but all that were watching as I led that by example, right? Where that phobia, that distorted belief that limits so many mothers at one point, by being watched as to something that could be done, it didn't seem like something that was selfish. It was something that was needed for most mothers, because mothers, just because they're mothers, doesn't mean they're not human beings. Doesn't mean they can't live their life. Doesn't mean they have to restrict themselves to the point of their own misery and resentment for their children. In fact, it should be an experience that we are in the practice of self-love and self-care and allowing ourselves to pamper ourselves and love ourselves, but not to the detriment of your children, of course, because your children should always come first. But if you are in the position to do it for them and yourself, it is something to take in consideration and enjoy, right? Therefore, creating affirmations that affirm that not only are you a great mother, you are an enjoyable mother. I give my child an experience that not even, most people get to explore. And I am grateful for that experience. I am grateful that I have been given the opportunity to do that. And then I add gratitude to these affirmations so that I can be fully present and in the enjoyment of these moments with myself and also with my child. So I am going to conclude this lesson here, as limiting belief transformation is a crucial step on your journey to self-mastery. By reshaping your belief system, you break free from the constraints that have held you back and unlock the door to a life lived with confidence, determination, and authenticity. As you engage in these techniques, remember that your potential is limitless, and the only limit that matters are the ones that you place on yourself. And for the question of the lesson is, what is one limiting belief that you've identified during this lesson, and how do you plan to challenge and transform it in your journey towards self-mastery? I would love for you to share that limiting belief with us and your plans, and how did it work out for you if you have already done the practices that we just shared here today. So if you feel open and willing, go ahead and share it in our community of the lesson of our course so that we can see each other's limiting beliefs and see how we can assist each other and support each other through our own journey and practices of the course. And just like every other lesson, I also want to give the disclaimer of the possible challenges that can take place during this course at each stage and at each endeavor that we decide to go towards. For the first one, we have patience and persistence. Belief transformation takes time and persistence. Some might struggle with patience and become discouraged if they don't see immediate results. Number 2, fear of failure. Fear of failure is in the transformation process can hinder progress. Some might worry that they won't succeed in changing their beliefs. Number 3, lack of self-compassion. Some may struggle with self-compassion, making it difficult to treat themselves kindly and understand that belief transformation is a process. Number 4, repetition of old patterns. Reverting to old thought patterns and behaviors can be a challenge. Some might find themselves slipping back into limiting beliefs they thought they had overcome. Number 5, external influences. External factors such as the opinion or judgment of others can impact our belief transformation journey. Number 6, support system. Having a supportive environment and network is essential. Some might find it challenging if they lack a support system that encourages their growth. Number 7, integration. Implementing new beliefs into everyday life can be challenging. Some might struggle with applying their transformed belief consistently. Addressing these challenges often requires patience, self-compassion, and consistent practice. It's important to recognize that these challenges are part of the transformative process and can be overcome with determination and the right strategies. In the following pages, you'll find a little bit about myself as your trainer today, as well as our social, where you can find us and support us and share and like and whatever you would like to do with that. Thank you for listening.